Shane reading for June 28. Deuteronomy 33. This is the blessing Moses, the man of God, pronounced upon the Israelites before his death. He said, The Lord came from Sinai and revealed himself to Israel from Seir. He appeared in splendor from Mount Paran and came forth with 10,000 holy ones. With his right hand he gave a fiery law to them. Surely he loves the people. All your holy ones are in your power, and they sit at your feet, each receiving your words. Moses delivered to us a law, an inheritance for the assembly of Jacob. The Lord was king over Jeshurun, when the leaders of the people assembled, the tribes of Israel together. May Reuben live and not die, and may his people multiply. And this is the blessing to Judah. He said, Listen, O Lord, to Judah's voice, and bring him to his people. May his power be great, and may you help him against his foes. Of Levi he said, Your Thummim and Urim belong to your godly one, whose authority you challenged at Massah, and with whom you argued at the waters of Meribah. He said to his father and mother, I have not seen him. And he did not acknowledge his own brothers, or know his own children, for they kept your word, and guarded your covenant. They will teach Jacob your ordinances, and Israel your law. They will offer incense as a pleasant odor, and a whole offering on your altar. Bless, O Lord, his goods, and be pleased with his efforts. Undercut the legs of any who attack him, and of those who hate him, so that they cannot stand. Of Benjamin he said, the beloved of the Lord will live safely by him. He protects him all the time, and the Lord places him on his chest. Of Joseph he said, May the Lord bless his land with the harvest produced by the sky, by the dew, and by the depths crouching beneath, with the harvest produced by the daylight, and the moonlight, and by the moonlight, with the best of the ancient mountains, and the harvest produced by the age-old hills, with the harvest of the earth and its fullness, and the pleasure of him who resides in the burning bush. May blessing rest on Joseph's head, and on the top of the head of the one set apart from his brothers. May the firstborn of his bull bring him honor, and may his horns be those of a wild ox. With them may he gore all peoples, and the far reaches of the earth. They are 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. Of Zebulun he said, Rejoice, Zebulun, when you go outside, and Issachar, when you are in your tents. They will summon peoples to the mountain. There they will sacrifice proper sacrifices, for they will enjoy the abundance of the seas and the hidden treasures of the shores. Of Gad he said, Blessed be the one who enlarges Gad. Like a lioness he will dwell, he will tear at an arm, indeed a scalp. He has selected the best part for himself, for the portion of the ruler it is set aside there. He came with the leaders of the people, he obeyed the righteous laws of the Lord, and his ordinances with Israel. Of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's cub, he will leap forth from Bashan. Of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, overflowing with favor and full of the Lord's blessing, possess the west and south. Of Asher he said, Asher is blessed with children, may he be favored by his brothers, and may he dip his foot in olive oil. The bars of your gates will be made of iron and bronze, and may you live long strength. There is no one like God, O Jeshurun, who rides through the sky to help you on the clouds of majesty. The everlasting God is a refuge, and underneath you are his eternal arms. He has driven out enemies before you, and has said, Destroy. Israel lives in safety. The fountain of Jacob is quite secure. In a land of grain and new wine, indeed, its heavens rain down dew. You have joy, Israel. Who is like you? You are a people delivered by the Lord, your protective shield and your exalted sword. May your enemies cringe before you. May you trample on their backs. Deuteronomy 34. Then Moses ascended from the Rift Valley plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the summit of Pisgah, which is opposite Jericho. The Lord showed him the whole land, Gilead to Dan, and all of Naphtali, the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Judah, as far as the distant sea, the Negev, and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of date palm trees, as far as Zoar. Then the Lord said to him, This is the land I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob when I said, I will give it to your descendants. I have let you see it, but you will not cross over there. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, as the Lord had said. He buried him in the valley in the land of Moab near Beth Peor, but no one knows his exact burial place to this very day. Moses was 120 years old when he died, but his eye was not dull, nor had his vitality departed. The Israelites mourned for Moses in the Rift Valley plains of Moab for 30 days. Then the days of mourning for Moses ended. Now Joshua, son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had placed his hands on him, and the Israelites listened to him and did just what the Lord had commanded Moses. No prophet ever again arose in Israel like Moses, who knew the Lord face to face. He did all the signs and wonders the Lord had sent him to do in the land of Egypt, to Pharaoh, all his servants, and the whole land, and he displayed great power and awesome might in view of all Israel. Psalm 119, continuing from verse 145. I cried out with all my heart, Answer me, O Lord. I will observe your statutes. I cried out to you, Deliver me, so that I can keep your rules. I am up before dawn, crying for help. I find hope in your word. My eyes anticipate the nighttime hours, so that I can meditate on your word. Listen to me because of your loyal love. O Lord, revive me, as you typically do. Those who are eager to do wrong draw near. They are far from your law. You are near, O Lord, and all your commands are reliable. I learned long ago that you ordained your rules to last. See my pain and rescue me, for I do not forget your law. Fight for me and defend me. Revive me with your word. The wicked have no chance for deliverance, for they do not seek your statutes. Your compassion is great, O Lord. Revive me, as you typically do. The enemies who chase me are numerous, yet I do not turn aside from your rules. I take note of the treacherous and despise them, because they do not keep your instructions. See how I love your precepts. O Lord, revive me with your loyal love. Your instructions are totally reliable. All your just regulations endure. Rulers pursue me for no reason, yet I am more afraid of disobeying your instructions. I rejoice in your instructions, like one who finds much plunder. I hate and despise deceit. I love your law. 7 times a day I praise you because of your just regulations. Those who love your law are completely secure. Nothing causes them to stumble. I hope for your deliverance, O Lord, and I obey your commands. I keep your rules. I love them greatly. I keep your precepts and rules, for you are aware of everything I do. Listen to my cry for help, O Lord. Give me insight by your word. Listen to my appeal for mercy. Deliver me as you promised. May praise flow freely from my lips, for you teach me your statutes. May my tongue sing about your instructions, for all your commands are just. May your hand help me, for I choose to obey your precepts. I long for your deliverance, O Lord. I find delight in your law. May I live and praise you. May your regulations help me. I have wandered off like a lost sheep. Come looking for your servant, for I do not forget your commands. Isaiah chapter 60. Arise, shine, for your light arrives. The splendor of the Lord shines on you. For look, darkness covers the earth, and deep darkness covers the nations. But the Lord shines on you. His splendor appears over you. Nations come to your light, kings to your bright light. Look all around you. They all gather and come to you. Your sons come from far away, and your daughters are escorted by guardians. Then you will look and smile. You will be excited, and your heart will swell with pride. For the riches of distant lands will belong to you, and the wealth of nations will come to you. Camel caravans will cover your roads, young camels from Midian and Ephah. All the merchants of Sheba will come, bringing gold and incense, and singing praises to the Lord. All the sheep of Kedar will be gathered to you. The rams of Nebaioth will be available to you as sacrifices. They will go up on my altar acceptably, and I will bestow honor on my majestic temple. Who are these who float along like a cloud, who fly like doves to their shelters? Indeed, the coastlands look eagerly for me. The large ships are in the lead, bringing your sons from far away, along with their silver and gold, to honor the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, for he has bestowed honor on you. Foreigners will rebuild your walls. Their kings will serve you. Even though I struck you down in my anger, I will restore my favor and have compassion on you. Your gates will remain open at all times. They will not be shut during the day, or at night, so that the wealth of nations may be delivered, with their kings leading the way. Indeed, nations or kingdoms that do not serve you will perish. Such nations will definitely be destroyed. The splendor of Lebanon will come to you, its evergreens, firs, and cypresses together, to beautify my palace. I will bestow honor on my throne room. The children of your oppressors will come bowing to you. All who treat you with disrespect will bow down at your feet. They will call you the city of the Lord, Zion of the Holy One of Israel. You were once abandoned and despised, with no one passing through, but I will make you a permanent source of pride, a joy to coming generations. You will drink the milk of nations, you will nurse at the breasts of kings. Then you will recognize that I, the Lord, am your deliverer, your protector, the powerful one of Jacob. Instead of bronze, I will bring you gold. Instead of iron, I will bring you silver. Instead of wood, I will bring you bronze. Instead of stones, I will bring you iron. I will make prosperity your overseer, and vindication your sovereign ruler. Sounds of violence will no longer be heard in your land, or the sounds of destruction and devastation within your borders. You will name your walls deliverance, and your gates praise. The sun will no longer supply light for you by day, nor will the moon's brightness shine on you. The Lord will be your permanent source of light. The splendor of your God will shine upon you. Your sun will no longer set, your moon will not disappear. The Lord will be your permanent source of light. Your time of sorrow will be over. All your people will be godly. They will possess the land permanently. I will plant them like a shoot. They will be the product of my labor, through whom I reveal my splendor. The least of you will multiply into 1,000. The smallest of you will become a large nation. Then when the right time comes, I, the Lord, will quickly do this. Matthew chapter 8. After he came down from the mountain, large crowds followed him, and a leper approached and bowed low before him, saying, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. He stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, I am willing, be clean. Immediately his leprosy was cleaned. Then Jesus said to him, See that you do not speak to anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and bring the offering that Moses commanded as a testimony to them. When he entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him asking for help. Lord, my servant is lying at home paralyzed in terrible anguish. Jesus said to him, I will come and heal him. But the centurion replied, Lord, I am not worthy to have you come under my roof. Instead, just say the word, and my servant will be healed, for I too am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. I say to this one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes, and to my slave, do this, and he does it. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed, and said to those who followed him, I tell you the truth, I have not found such faith in anyone in Israel. I tell you, many will come from the east and west to share the banquet with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the sons of the kingdom will be thrown out into the outer darkness. Where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then Jesus said to the centurion, Go, just as you believed, it will be done for you. And the servant was healed at that hour. Now when Jesus entered Peter's house, he saw his mother-in-law lying down sick with fever. He touched her hand, and the fever left her. Then she got up and began to serve them. When it was evening, many demon-possessed people were brought to him. He drove out the spirits with a word and healed all who were sick. In this way, what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah was fulfilled. He took our weaknesses and carried our diseases. Now when Jesus saw a large crowd around him, he gave orders to go to the other side of the lake. Then an expert in the law came to him and said, Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go. Jesus said to him, Foxes have dens, and the birds in the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. Another of the disciples said to him, Lord, let me first go and bury my father. Jesus said to him, Follow me. Let the dead bury their own dead. As he got into the boat, his disciples followed him, and a great storm developed on the sea, so that the waves began to swamp the boat. But he was asleep. So they came and woke him up, saying, Lord, save us, we're about to die. But he said to them, Why are you cowardly, you people of little faith? Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and it was dead calm. And the men were amazed and said, What sort of person is this? Even the winds and the sea obey him. When he came to the other side, to the region of the Gadarenes, 2 demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him. They were extremely violent, so that no one was able to pass by that way. They cried out, Son of God, leave us alone. Have you come here to torment us before the time? A large herd of pigs was feeding some distance from them. Then the demons begged him, If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs. And he said, Go. So they came out and went into the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep slope into the lake and drowned in the water. The herdsmen ran off, went into town, and told everything that had happened to the demon-possessed men. Then the entire town came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their region. This is the word of the Lord.